I hope that you are having a wonderful summer so far. We are about midway through June at this point, and so that for us, we're getting closer to the first month of summer break for my kids from school. But as a parent, it doesn't always feel like a break because they are on break, but we are not. And it can get really hard when you are the camp counselor, coordinator, chaos director of your children's lives. And so it just feels a lot overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming when you're in the midst of it. So I was never a mom that runs around with her kids. We do not have activities every day, especially when they were little. We were home 95% of the time. We were either at family, some of my family members' houses during the day, or we would go to the library. It was very contained. I would do special little adventures here and there, but we were home a lot. I love being home. I love my house. I love being in my space. Uh, and we also live in a rural community. So for us to have an adventure day to say like a zoo or a play date, like a group like MOPS or anything scheduled like that, it's a 20 to 30-minute drive. And when you're working around diapers and feedings and nap times, I personally could not handle it. It was not, and that was not how I was raised. I live about 3 miles from my parents, and again, just we were not going and running and doing all these special little things all the time because it was just too far away, and it wasn't how we were raised. Um, and I loved my childhood. So it just one of those, it was really nice. It was really slow. It was special, even though I wasn't in all the sports, all the camps. We did do things, especially as we got older, because now we are transitioning from baby toddlers to big kids, almost into adolescence, preteen. Like we're heading into that phase of life with, especially with my oldest. So like this summer, we have summer running for my oldest. We are doing golf lessons, piano lessons. I like to have days open where if we want to go to a pool, we can just go to a family member's pool, or if something pops up, they can go to a friend's house. I'm more willing to be on the go now that we're not working around nap times and feedings and diapers. So now instead of the diaper changer and snack coordinator, I am just the coordinator of the calendar, of the chaos, the chauffeur to doing driving them to the things that they have to going on. And there's not a lot of energy left over for the things that I always want to do, especially in the summer. I wouldn't change this. I love the fact that I get to be here. There are times when it can be overwhelming, which is why in the summer bingo, I'm going to try to link that here, I put in a lot of breaks or rests in there to help manage the overwhelm that can come with being a parent in the summer season. But in this, I do want to encourage parents or care providers of any age, stage, whatever you are in. It is okay for this season, this summer season, to not feel like a break for us. Again, it's the mind mindset shift of break to this is actually more work for us as the provider of care. We have to do have things a little more organized. I do like to leave things a little more open for whatever may come up and for free play. We do spend a lot of time on screens. I'm not going to deny that. It is something that helps me to be a better parent for my kids, and that's okay. If you are struggling with the balance of how much screen time is too much screen time, we are all dealing with that, but it's okay if you need that mental break and that need them to be quiet for a little bit to let them have a screen. It's not going to ruin them forever and ever to let them watch a movie, to have an iPad for a little bit. It is okay. Because I know for myself, when I'm overwhelmed and tired, I too like to mindlessly scroll on my phone, watch a YouTube video that might help inspire me to do a recipe or go out into the yard. We all find these things as we go. And a big thing I think to remember is that taking time for ourselves as adults to be adults or to be let our inner child out without our kids, it's okay. It's not selfish, it's survival. It's what you need to do to help yourself. So even if it's a 15-minute walk in the evening, reading before bed, an afternoon coffee or treat just for you that you're not managing your children, that's okay. And it could even be getting a new plant or something that you really enjoy. And along with that, if you are in a season where your mental capacity, your bandwidth cannot handle one more thing, it is okay to step back. It is okay to let things go, especially if you're in the early years, the baby years, the toddler years, where there's just not as much um, capacity for more to do. And I just want to encourage parents that if you're in that stage and you're trying to do all the things that you used to do and all the things your child needs you to do, it is okay to let things go. It is okay to say no. I know for myself that the past few years, having the plants that I do have and spending time working on that, I've only been able to really accomplish in the last 5 to 6 years, where 10 to 5 years ago, that was something that had to go because of the ages and stages my kids were in and where we were. I didn't have the time to take care of the plants the way I wanted. I didn't have the energy. I couldn't take care of one more thing that needed my attention, especially during such a chaotic season. But now that my kids are older, if they can help me plant them, they can help me water the plants. I know what I like around my house, to the point where even this every year I add more and more and more. But it's just those things where it's just for the season. It's okay if a hobby that you've always enjoyed goes away or you're doing it minimally or poorly. Like, we are looking for not what do I like to say? We're looking for progress, not perfection. We want to get it done. We want to do things in a lazy way, and that's okay. If it gets it done, it gets it done. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think we have a real problem in our culture when we see everyone's highlight reels, these beautiful Facebook posts and Instagram posts and YouTube videos that are all perfectly seamlessly people living their lives. Everything's clean, everything's tidy. It is not reality. And sometimes some people, there are high functioning people that are able to keep all those things, all those balls juggling up in the air. And then there's some of us that all we can do is toss one ball at a time. And that's okay. I was that way. And I still am that way. I can't overload myself because otherwise everything falls apart. But I know as the years have gone, there are things that have come and gone in my life. So one thing was gardening because it's summer season. Every year I keep adding more and more now that I've figured out what I like for my front yard, what I like in my backyard, and I've added in vegetables this year in containers because that's what makes sense for my yard, and for my capabilities. We're just testing it out. It's the first year I've ever done it. I'm hopeful, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll try again next year. Another hobby that I've attempted and started and worked on was that I learned how to bake and decorate cakes. A lot of that came from YouTube videos. I also took a class. There's just little things to help you feel like yourself and things you want to learn. I'm a crocheter and year-round reader. Summer, I like to have some plants. And right now I'm trying to learn how to do YouTube videos. I'm learning how to edit and I'm learning how to film myself. And it's going to take a hit this summer because this is something for myself and I don't want my kids involved in it. I'm going to be selfish with it. And I just don't think they're ready for that level. But I'm hoping once we get back to fall and my days open up a little more, that I will be able to learn more and grow more. I've slowly added these things over the course of many years. These aren't things that I have always done, things that I will always continue to do. It just, I just really want to encourage you, if you're in a season where you feel like there's nothing that you're doing for yourself, it will come. It will come back to you. I have picked up and stopped and picked up again crochet over the last 10, 12 years. I learned how to do it. Then I was getting into it, figuring it out slowly, and then I ended up having my first baby, and I didn't touch crochet for years and years. Then he was a toddler, so I picked it back up, and then I was pregnant again, and I set it back down. And then once my youngest was probably about 4, I started picking it up again, and I've consistently been working on that especially over the last year or so. And it's been really fun to learn and grow in that. It's not perfect, but it's fun. It's something for me to do that's not on my phone or on a screen, and I just really enjoy it. I know that when you're in the middle of everything, it feels like there's nothing, but these things do come back around. All I know is that the millennial sorting hat would hate to see me coming. Running, check. Sourdough, check. Plants, check. Reading, check. Yarn hobby, check. There's so many things that as we get older and we grow and mature, our space and time opens up, and whatever space you make will be filled up with something eventually. But I just want you to know that when you are struggling with the littles, and that soon enough they will be big enough for you to start something new for yourself, to include them in that hobby. It all circles back around. And especially as like one of the things we're also working on this summer is life skills, basic cooking, picking up after ourselves. People focus on that when they're itty bitties and they don't always understand it. We've kind of waited till they were a little older, and we're really working on that now as we're developing and growing. So they won't always be so needy, and you'll have more time for yourself as your children get older. It's okay if you have to set a passion down for a time. It's okay if you have to set it down and come back to it when they're older, or you may never come back to it, but you'll find something else to take its place. Because we were never meant to carry all of it all the time. Sometimes we have to take breaks. Sometimes we have to take into account that we need rest mentally, physically, spiritually. We need the rest. We were never meant to carry everything. So don't let everything go, but don't say yes to everything, and leave perfectionism at the door. This is not a season for perfectionism. This is a season for joy and delight and surviving. It's for our mental sanity. If you have always been into painting, that might be something that has to take a back burner for a time until your children can grow and you can incorporate them into it. Or it might be something that you tell your partner, like, hey, I need half an hour to go do this by myself uninterrupted. And you have to respect that. There's certain things that you will have to learn to budget for in your time, but it is possible. Now, it might not be all at once. Slow, pick one thing that you want to be the thing, and if that you do that for a couple of weeks and you decide, oh, that's not for me, you find something else that feels to try and learn and grow. Because one of the things that I have definitely realized, especially in my 30s, is that I want to be a learner. I want to learn new things. I want to try new things more so now than when I was in my 20s. And especially I had my babies in my later 20s. So I really hunkered down in that. And now that we're getting older, it's like I want to enjoy life with my children. I want to experience things with them. I also have to remember that this is my first time being human. And there's things that I want to experience and things I want to know how to do. And it is possible to lay things aside for a season and come back to them later. Pick something if you need something right now, make it something simple, something manageable. One of the things when my kids were little was walks. We went for so many walks. We would go for a morning walk. We'd go for an evening walk. Sometimes if I needed something, we'd go for an afternoon walk. And I'd push them in the stroller. I could contain them and they loved it. And it was a break for me, even though I was moving my body. So something simple, something small that's manageable for you in this season is okay. And if it's not done well, so be it. It's done. And you will have fun. The big thing is finding the joy and the delight. There was many years there where I didn't read because I just didn't have the space for it. I didn't have the time for it. My brain just was too exhausted. And now I've come back into it here in the last, I would say, especially the last like 4 years. Um, and this summer has been a joy because like both my kids read now, so I can have them read to themselves and I can read for myself, and it is so much fun to see them learning and diving into different stories. So I know I really didn't talk about reading or books much in this video, but for my next video, which I hope you will come back, it's going to be the 2025 Q2 Red recap that I will do. So be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you know when that video posts. And in case you missed it, I'll link my 2025 Q1 Red recap. And I really hope that you're enjoying your summer, that you're finding ways to keep in touch with who you are in your heart. And no matter what that looks like or feels like for you in the current ages and stages that your kids are, I really hope that you're having a joyful summer and that you are doing the things that make you enjoy the stage that you are in, whether it's with a book or not. So happy summer. I'll see you in the next one.